Will of the mind. There is an old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. We are mind and we have a will, but most of us are not using the mind's will. Most of the time we are running on automatic, controlled by the habits and routines stored in the soul. Our will has been usurped by the soul. Over the years, our will has been whittled down to the point where we spend most of our time dreaming about the soul's addictions and desires, living in the old memories and fantasies of soul. The soul has distorted the truth and wrestled control of the will from the mind with unhealthy and inaccurate beliefs about life. The soul is holding the will hostage, and the mind is doing its bidding. For without the will, the mind is dragged unwillingly to do what the soul wants it to do. At best, we possess a percentage of the will, and the soul possesses the rest. What is that percentage? The will is the strength of the mind's righteousness. The mind needs to retake control of the will back from the soul and stop acting on the wrong thoughts emanating from the soul. Our will has been made weak through stress and addictions to substances, behaviors, and activities. We are all victims of some form of drug addiction, substance addiction, and behavioral addiction in one form or another, whether we want to admit it or not. It's the social design to maximize profits. Money, drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, food, sports, work, technology, shopping, TV, relationship, video games, politics, and so on. Chances are we have more than one addiction in this age of addictions. We have been shackled in the chains of addictive behavior, made slaves to soul's addictions, obsessions, and compulsions. One or more temptation is robbing us of our will. We need to stop lazing around in the clutches of the soul. Just as Jesus was reborn from the dead of this world, so can we become born again. The gift of returning home lays in the use of the will to overcome the wiles of the soul and transmute ourselves back into a righteous mind. We can now read Matthew 6:21 with a new understanding. For where your treasure is, there will your soul be. Get it? Will the soul. You see, hidden in plain sight for all to see, and yet reading we did not understand. Will your soul. Stop the dreaming. Stop running on automatic. We have become habituated to certain thinking, speaking, and acting patterns stored in the soul. Clichés, pre-programmed responses held in soul come forth without a thought. Stop letting the contents of soul rule the kingdom. Use the mind to catch the wiles of the soul, and then use the will to choose the right way. Now is the time to get to work on learning about how the soul is controlling you, and then use your will. Be subdivided no more by that soul. Be of one mind. It is the will which gives the mind the strength to just say no to the wiles of the soul and choose the righteousness way. As you wrestle the will back from the soul, you shall see your mind growing in strength. The deceitful soul has been tricking us and robbing us of the use of our will, making it of little effect. Reading Colossians 1:9. For this cause we also, from the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you, and to desire that ye might be filled with the knowledge of his will in all wisdom and spiritual understanding. You see, the will is the means through which the power of the mind can be used. The stronger the will, the more power of the mind at your disposal to do the will of God. Remember, reading in the Lord's Prayer, Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. As God is mind and wills things, so must we strengthen our will to do God's will on earth and later back in heaven. Reading in Genesis chapter 1 where God is willing things into existence. Let there be light. Let there be a firmament. Let there be lights, and so on. God thought about it, and then he willed it into existence. And reading Matthew 8:3. And Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And recall Jesus' words to us in Matthew 21:22. And all things, whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. And his words in Matthew 21:21, if ye have faith and doubt not. And then in John 14:13, whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. Now reading Ephesians 1:9, having made known to us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure which he hath purposed in himself. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Ephesians 5:17. And reading Philippians 2:13, for it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do his good pleasure. Make yourself perfect in every good work to do his will. Hebrews 13:21. And not with the eye service as man-pleasers, but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the mind, with the good will doing service, as to the Lord, and not as men. Ephesians 6:6-7. All the evils plaguing this world are the result of the deceitfully wicked soul. The whole world has been deceived, making it extremely difficult for anyone to overcome the erroneous teachings of religion and spirituality. It is truly a craft of the deceptive soul. Exercise your mind and muster up that God will, which has been suppressed by the god of this world. We have allowed the soul to all but destroy our will, reading 1 Peter 4:2, that he should no longer live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lusts of men, but to the will of God. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. 1 John 2:17. And reading Matthew 7:21, not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven, who will have all men to be saved and come unto the knowledge of the truth. 1 Timothy 2:4. A man's foes are those of his own soul. This is the fiery trial which everyone must pass through to return home and rejoin our brothers and sisters on other earth. Our brothers and sisters who love us so much that none of us should be exiled forever, recalling what Jesus said in Mark 3:5, the same is my brother and sister. This is the way, walk in it. The way of soul is sin and death. The way of God is righteousness and life. Reading Galatians 1:4, who gave himself for our sins, that he might deliver us from this present evil world, according to the will of God and our Father. Peace be unto you. Esoteric knowledge you won't find anywhere else. Please share. Subscribe to this channel. Watch this next video, or watch this next video. Thank you for watching.